Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Stewart. Please stand and join us in singing our gathering song, We're Unity. He's coming. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're your unity. We come to see the God in you and in me. We feel the love that we're worthy of, around in and out and above. We come to connect with our light that shines like the sun rising high in the sky so divine. We're unity. Yes, we're unity. We build a bridge instead of a wall, extending a hand to those who fall. We meditate and seek to release the feelings that block our own peace. We come to connect with our light that shines like the sun rising high in the sky so divine. We're unity. Yes, we're unity. We're unity. Yes, we're unity.
Good morning, good morning. And welcome to Unity. In case you didn't know that, we're Unity. And good morning to everyone who is in the room, and good morning to everyone who is online, and on YouTube and Facebook. And silence your cell phones if you please. And as always, we have with us the Joyful Noise Band and Choir, and today our special music on this Mother's Day. We have special music by Jen Erickson. And welcome to all of the people who are in this room and online for the first time. If you are joining us in person for the first time today and you would like to receive a welcome packet from Linda or John, please raise your hand so they can give you a welcome packet if you'd like one. And if you are right behind you, John, I think. That's Stacy. Stacy would like a welcome packet. Okay. And if you're here for the first time and haven't raised your hand and you'd like to grab one on the way out, they'll be on the left-hand side of on the left table as you exit this room, the sanctuary. In that packet, there's information about Unity and other things. There is a form that if you fill that out and bring it back to Audrey at the podium, you can get on our email list, and she will be happy to give you a gift. So most importantly, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what is happening in your life, everyone is welcome here. We honor everyone. We are a positive, affirming, practical path of spirituality, and everyone is welcome here. So thanks for being here, everybody. Oh, yeah. Those of you who are online, if you would like a welcome packet, please email us at admin@unityofstewart.org, and we'd be happy to send you a welcome packet. And this is our board of directors, and our boardie of the day today is Tom Taylor. Notice how I had to look at my notes. Tom Taylor is our boardie of the day. You'll see him there, and he kind of hangs out after service, and if you have any questions, you can, if you can't get to me or you would like to talk to a board member, Tom's on duty today, and you can talk to Tom. Thank you, Tom, for serving today. And there are our chaplains. And what our prayer chaplains do is they pray. and they hold us in prayer. They hold me in prayer, thank goodness, and they hold our community in prayer in their daily prayer time. And they also are, at least one of them is available in service after the service, so that you can, if you would like personal prayer, they will pray with you and hold your prayer in the highest confidence. And today our prayer chaplain on duty is Bertha. So thank you, Bertha, for serving in that way. Alternatively, or as well as, you can email us at prayer@unityofstewart.org. That's a private email that comes directly to me, and I will make sure I pray over your prayer and also put it in our prayer box. Or you can call our Silent Unity prayer line, which is at our home office outside of Kansas City in Missouri, and they have a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week prayer line that you can call and get a live person to get prayer from them as well. And coming up on June 27th is our annual prayer chaplain training. If you happen to be feeling the pull to pray with others, or even just to deepen your own spiritual practice, you are invited to this training. It doesn't mean you'll automatically become a prayer chaplain. So by signing up and being in this prayer training, could be for your own education about the way of prayer of unity. And I will be training with our PC trainer and lead chaplain, Nancy Bach. And I'm going to invite Nancy up here because we're going to do a little demonstration of what it looks like to pray with a prayer chaplain, just in case you have never done it and are interested in doing it.
Good morning.
Hi, and I'm going to be, Nancy was the prayer chaplain, was the prayer last week. I'm going to be the prayer this week. Nancy's the prayee. Hey, Nance, how can I pray with you?
Hi, Jude. You know, sometimes this is a prayer for wholeness, because sometimes in my life I just feel scattered. There's so many things I want to do, good things, art projects, places I want to travel to, workshops I want to take, things I just want to be, you know, all of it. And I feel there are little pieces of myself all over. I try to be quiet, you know, I pray and meditate and all of that stuff. But I still have this urgency to do so many things at once.
Okay.
So I'd like prayer for that,
All right,
please.
I don't need that. All right, so let's take a big, deep breath together. Settling into this now moment as together we join with Spirit as we co-create this sacred space together, this space of wholeness and this space of divine wisdom. And I am knowing in my heart and in my soul that the power and the presence of Spirit is moving in and through you right now, bringing everything into alignment, bringing clarity in your thinking and decisiveness in your doing. And we know that as you go in and connect with Spirit within, that you will be guided in all ways for everything that is yours to do. And then you decide with that guidance to do the next indicated thing. And turning this prayer over into the care and keeping of the one, I pray it in the name and nature of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
So there you have it. If you haven't prayed with a prayer chaplain yet, it's short, it's sweet, and it's powerful. And if you'd like to become a prayer chaplain, come and join us for the June 27th training. You can sign up in the foyer, and of course you can talk to Nancy or anybody else, Bertha today, if you'd like to get a deeper idea of what being a prayer chaplain here at Unity of Stewart is about. And what's important to know is that if you are not a member of a voting member, which means you've taken a class and become a voting member of Unity of Stewart, you can still take the training, and if you commit to becoming a member at the next new member class, you'll be good to go. So like I said, any questions, you can see Nancy. All right. Okay, you raise your voice in song in our Joyful Noise Choir. And everybody's welcome. If you'd like to become part of the choir, there is a sign-up sheet out in the foyer, and you can show up on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock. You can also talk to our choir director and co-music director, Doreen, and she'll be happy to talk to you about joining choir. And you can talk to any of our choir members. And coming up on May 29th is the last coffee house for the season, for the summer. And that is going to be a beautiful night of music and laughter and sweet treats and fun. Doors open at 6:30. Concert begins at 7 p.m.
Okay, so here's your hints. But before that, I'll just say that Jen has the nerve to take this one off, so she will not be with
How
us.
dare she?
But we will welcome Michael Jordan, who actually co-founded the Connected Souls Band back in 2009 with me as a duo. So he'll be joining us in her place. So here's your hints. You might experience laughter in the rain under a harvest moon
Oh.
with someone named Amy.
What was the last thing?
Amy.
Someone named Amy?
Amy.
Is it Amy Winehouse?
That's as many hints as you're getting.
Okay, fine.
Come, please join us. We'd love to close it out with a great crowd of people. All of the money raised does go to Unity of Stewart. Thank you.
All right. One more before the dedication. At this time of year, I'd like to say au revoir to those who are leaving to go north. How dare you? And we will miss you and look forward to you coming back. And I know Jerry and Kevin are leaving. We won't see them after today. Anybody else that we won't see after today? Oh, Paula and Lauren. Oh, Lauren's a first-time visitor though, and helping Paula to get home. And so just know that we love you and we will miss you. Okay, so a little bit of a different dedication today. So it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. And I know for some, well, let's just say this. Mother's Day can be complicated for some of us. And Mother's Day can be beautiful for some of us. And it could also be a little bit of both. For some, the word mother brings warmth and gratitude. For others, it brings longing, grief, distance, or unfinished stories. But every one of us came into this world through someone, through our mother. And every one of us carries a name that shapes our beginnings. So today, as we dedicate this service to mothers and grandmothers and aunties and chosen mothers and caregivers and nurturing souls who help carry life, love, wisdom, and resilience, we offer our thanks. Humans built entire civilizations and still somehow forget to call their moms. So today we honor our moms. So just for a moment, I'd like to fill this room with the names of the women. Oh God, where are my tissues? Any tissues? Let me just be proactive here. Preactive. Thank you very much, Nancy. All right, now that I did all that, I'm probably not going to cry, which is a good thing. All right, I'll start that again. I want us to fill this room with the names of the women who brought us into life. Softly or boldly spoken, lovingly or tenderly, however they live in your heart today. Because names matter, they carry memory, they carry presence, and somehow, when spoken together, they remind us that none of us got here alone. On the count of 3, I invite you to speak your mom's name out loud. Teresa Gianmarco, loud. Speak your mom's name into this. I miss my mom. Bear with me a minute, please. I'm going to have the sniffles all through this if I don't take care of it. I trust the wisdom of Spirit moving through me. I trust the wisdom of Spirit moving through me. Just as birds know when to migrate, I am blessed with intuition, an inner knowing or wisdom of the heart. It is my sixth sense, beyond what I see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. Intuition provides me with a direct link to Spirit where all truth resides. This inner knowing helps me know if I am making a wise decision. I discern when to take action and when to be patient. Through intuition, I may receive a flash of insight. I may have an instinctive feeling about something or someone. I move forward as guided. As I trust in Spirit, I find confidence and an invisible yet certain knowing. It may be felt in the stillness or triggered by outside events, a sign I see or a phone call I receive. I learn to trust my higher knowing and act accordingly. I trust the wisdom of Spirit moving through me. And so let's breathe deeply for a moment and connect with that mystery that we call God. Taking a deep breath into knowing and into intuition and into divine guidance as we trust the wisdom of Spirit moving through us. And so it is. Amen. And let's affirm our affirmation together. I trust the wisdom of Spirit moving through me. And let's take another deep breath, if you please, as we anchor in this affirmation, as we affirm one more time together. I trust the wisdom of Spirit moving through me. And as we prepare for meditation, let's sing.
Two, three.
There is love in and through us and them and me and you, like the wind through the trees, like the salt within the sea. There is love full of power, and it's growing by the hours. We feel it here in God's amazing grace. There is joy in us all, every creature great and small, in the warmth of a smile, in the laughter of a child. There is joy in the light, like a beacon through the night, as we live here in God's amazing grace.
And we breathe. And as we do every week, I invite you to take at least 3 deep, conscious breaths as fully as you are able. Letting the body soften, letting these chimes move in and through you, helping to bring you into alignment. And as we begin our prayerful meditation, I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own heart and mind this morning. Right here and now, I let the noise of the day soften. I settle into the quiet that is already here. The deeper place in me that is steady and whole. I rest there now. I remember that the wisdom I seek is already here, already present within me, alive in me now. I release any need to figure everything out. Releasing the pressure to decide too quickly. I trust that clarity comes in its own time. The voice of spirit in me is calm and patient. Spirit in, through, and as me knows. And I allow that knowing to rise gently. I trust the wisdom moving through me. If doubt appears, I notice it without judgment. I let it pass like a cloud. It may have a voice, but it is not my authority. My authority is a divine within me. I trust the wisdom moving through me right here and now. I rest in that truth. I breathe in that truth. And I live from that truth in the quiet. And as we have co-created this sacred space of love, of wisdom, of clarity, of spirit, I invite you to bring into your awareness, into your heart, all of those that are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stewart, and all those that are in our minds and hearts this morning, seeing each one lifted up. And if you'd like to speak names out into this holy space, I invite us to do that now. And releasing all into the care and keeping of the one, I invite you to join me in praying this in the name and in the nature of the indwelling divine consciousness. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing.
Happy Mother's Day. All right. April 22nd, my mom made her transition. And she was 93, and she was just awesome. Like everybody else that had good relationships with their moms. She was the best, really. And I was a mom too, and I lost my son Tico, the long-haired Chihuahua, 2 days after my mother. So I've been having a little bit of a time, but I'm getting through because I'm closer to my mother right now than I've ever been in my whole life. Even when I was inside of her, I'm closer. She doesn't, you know, I can talk to her whenever I want now. And she always listens and never argues anymore. I happen to be always right now. So weird. But my whole life, my mom was always proud of me, no matter what I did. And every single time I'd leave the house, she would tell me, Jenny, now go out and do your good work. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm going to sing a song called That's Love. And it's by probably one of the most aligned guys I know. His name is John Stringer. And you can look at his music online if you want. But this is called That's Love. And this goes out to Mary Jane. When your soul feels the passion, rises up in the magic. When your joy overflows and you're filled with compassion, that's love. Ooh, that's love. What you see or what you learn, it's not the ultimate concern. It's what you choose to think and be. Feel the truth and set you free. That's love. Ooh, that's love. Allow it to flow. Go ahead and get out of the way. Let your light turn into day. Allow love to take control. It's about what moves your soul. What moves your soul. That's love. Oh yeah, that's love. When you offer forgiveness and let go of resistance, when you seek to understand and you lend a helping hand, that's love. Ooh, that's love. Allow it to flow. Go ahead and get out the way. Let your night turn into day. Allow love to take control. It's about what moves your soul. What moves your soul. Yeah. That's love. Oh yeah. That's love. It's a reason for living. It's why you deserve it all. Do your good work.
Do your good work. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Joyful Noise. That's love. I remember getting ready for a trip several years ago, and I had this feeling that I needed to leave much earlier than I thought I normally would. There was no logical reason for it. Everything on maps said I had plenty of time, that the way was smooth, but I kept getting this feeling that I should leave, but then I started arguing with myself. Nah, this is my normal airport anxiety, my normal TSA anxiety, the normal, I hope there's room in the upper thing for my thing, anxiety. Just relax, you have plenty of time. And I ignored that inner nudge and left at the time that the Maps app suggested, instead of when I should have left. And naturally, because sometimes I think the universe loves irony, there was traffic and accident to back up the whole thing. And so when I got to the airport, I was looking at my watch. I said, okay, boarding starts here. And I drove into the airport, and there were no spaces. And by the grace of that mystery we call God, there were two guys that were working there, and they were driving around this little golf cart. And I said, hey, is there a space on this level? And they turned around, and they led me right to a space. And then I just carried on, and when I got to the gate, my group was boarding. And I walked on, so I made it. And that up until that point, even when I got into the parking garage, their entire experience was very stressful, right? And the whole drive there, I kept thinking, should have left. I was getting the nudge. I was getting that inner nudge to go. I should have paid attention. I knew. Not intellectually, perhaps, because the intellectual stuff didn't serve me at that point. It was a deeper knowing that inside I already knew. And I think maybe most of us have some sort of version of that story, that when we really knew something and we talked ourselves out of that knowing. I can't be the only one, right? No, right. So that's what we're here to look at this morning. And in light of it being Mother's Day, I've been thinking about how for most of us, the very first voice that we trusted was our moms. The very first voice. And part of a spiritual life and the spiritual practice and growth is learning to trust the voice that lives even deeper than that. The voice, that divinity, that divine presence that sits in the center and knows that we have access to. So that's what we're talking about this morning, listening to that deeper voice. Because not for nothing, we are living through one of the loudest and most distracting moments in human history. The average person encounters somewhere, science says, or the researchers say, somewhere between 4,000 and 10,000 messages a day. Advertisements, headlines, opinions, news, alerts, notifications on Facebook, Instagram, whatever we do, text messages. The world has never been more relentless in demanding our attention and trying to tell us what it thinks we should know or be or do. Because it trains us. All of the things that we get distracted by trains us to look outside for cues. We may check our phone, the feeds, before we check ourselves. We may absorb what's trending or what we hear or what our friends tell us without actually looking in to find out what we really know and what's good for us. We compare our real lives, and I know this happens with a lot of youngsters, well, not youngsters really, but I have a 23-year-old. I have a 23-year-old, and I have an 19-year-old, and a 17-year-old grandchildren, and plus younger than that. But I see in their lives, we kind of missed it. We of a certain age, We kind of miss that of Instagram, and everybody puts their perfect life out on social media for the most part. So we get shaped by what we see and what is pushed out to us. The ever-present good news is that the divine wisdom is moving through every single one of us in every single moment, and we can access it. We can access it in every single moment. Our co-founders, the Fillmores, called this the Christ within. And you could call it whatever you like. You can call it universal mind, you can call it divine source, you can call it the infinite divine, you can call it wisdom, whatever works for you. Whatever we call it, that deeper voice is already present within each and every one of us. And I also venture to say that perhaps we've all experienced that voice in our lives in a real way. That quiet clarity that comes when we stop forcing things. The sense of knowing without having a long argument attached to it. That sense when we can get quiet enough, take a breath and just wait. What is mine to do here right now? What is Spirit wanting me to know in this now moment? We all have access. We all have access to that infinite Spirit. Not someday, not after we become spiritually evolved, whoever knows what that is. We are all always evolving. It's always available right now. The Quaker and mystic Thomas Kelly wrote that there is a light within each person that darkness cannot overcome. And I'd add this, the noise can't drown it out either. It may grow quieter, the voice, when we're exhausted or frightened or doom scrolling at midnight, but it doesn't go away. It just waits for us to be quiet. It waits for us to be opened. And so that raises the question, are we willing to listen? Are we willing to listen? More importantly, are we willing to trust that what we hear, that we can act on? I can't even count how many times I used to say, okay, Spirit, tell me what to do. And I would get an answer, and I'd say, yeah, no, not that. Not that. Oh, yeah. Something else, please. So if the wisdom is always present, why is it so challenging to trust? Doubt. We doubt ourselves a fair amount, I imagine. And another reason is fear. Sometimes fear looks like wisdom, because fear is loud and fast and convincing. It could sound practical. It could sound responsible. It can sound plausible. It can say things like, be realistic. You don't want to do that. Be realistic. Or what will people think? Or you've been wrong before, you know. Or you're too old for that, or you're too young for that, or you're not educated enough for that, or you're too educated for that. And that's why spiritual evolving requires learning the difference between fear and doubt and spirit. Because fear contracts, spirit expands. Fear rushes. Do it now. Spirit is patient. Fear always wants urgency. Spirit is there always in the morning, always ready for us. And so we need to be careful, those of us on this conscious spiritual journey, about spiritual outsourcing. A lot of us were taught that wisdom only lives outside of us. We can't know. We can't know what's best. We have to get the answers from the experts. Institutions, experts, authority figures, ministers, books, podcasts, teachers, our friends. And all of those things can help us, for sure. They do matter. But there are times when nobody outside of us can tell us what our own soul already knows. Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, used to say that he went to headquarters to find the answers. Meaning go directly to source, go directly to prayer, go to silence, go to that inner place. You noticed that when Nancy and I were praying before, that's what exactly we did. When Nancy was asking for wholeness, we went right to spirit. And sometimes that's a habit of outsourcing. It's a habit we can't break or have trouble breaking. We can break it. Because many of us have spent our lifetimes consulting everything except our own inner wisdom. And rebuilding that trust in ourselves and in spirit takes practice, patience. It also means being willing to get it wrong sometimes without abandoning ourselves in process. Oh, I told you so. I shouldn't have listened to my inner source. That wasn't the right thing to do. That'll happen sometimes. That'll happen sometimes. And yet we are called to still go back to trusting that inner voice and to practicing listening to that inner voice. So what does it look like in real life? Practically speaking. Here's a very short example. Let's take a deep breath. Close our eyes. And just be. And that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. All right, come on back. No, that feels good, right? We cannot hear the still small voice over a constantly stimulated mind. Some kind of quiet daily practice matters. It matters. Even 5 minutes, even 10. Contemplative prayer. A walk without headphones. Sitting on the porch without simultaneously checking your phone. Checking the apps and the state of the world. My goodness, don't do that when you're trying to be quiet. And of course, a foundational practice in our Unity teaching, which is meditation, which we do every Sunday in a very short way. You may be interested to know that we're quiet for only a minute when we go into the quiet on Sundays, for only a minute. And yet, it makes a difference. And here's the thing about meditation. At its core, it's not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming present to notice what's already here. A lot of people think meditation is about stopping your thoughts. If you've ever meditated, you know that the human condition is that thoughts will come and thoughts will go, even in meditation. So when I've heard this over and over and over again in my life as spiritual teacher, oh, I can't meditate because I always think, I can't get quiet, I can't get quiet. And that's usually the moment people quit. I can't do it, can't get quiet. But that's the human condition. The human mind produces thoughts the way the ocean produces waves. That's its nature. So, meditation, know this, meditation is not the absence of thought. It's learning not to chase every thought that shows up. And as I said I think it was either in meditation or in Daily Word, it's like treating them as clouds, treating those thoughts like clouds passing by. Or my favorite metaphor, like the American Buddhist Jack Kornfield says, it's like training a dog to go on the pee pad. You don't yell at the dog for not going on the pee pad. You pick the puppy up, and you put the puppy back on the pad. And so that's what we do with our thoughts. Keep bringing them back to the pad. So, we don't meditate to escape life. We meditate to become more available to life, more available to that still small voice, more available to that inner infinite divine wisdom. And when we sit down and when we become we become more available to that source. We stop feeding that constant cycle of reaction. Wouldn't it be lovely not to react to everything and be able to take a breath and breathe and decide what's going to happen next? Meditation helps that. Meditation helps us not to react. That's the power of stillness. The surface storm settles, and we begin noticing the difference between the voice of fear and the voice of the divine, the voice of deeper knowing. Because fear tends to spiral and argue and catastrophize. So last night I woke up at, well, let me just tell you what my sleep schedule was last night, just so you know. I go to bed early on Saturday nights, so I was in bed by 9. I was probably sleeping at 9:30. I woke up at 1 o'clock, and I checked my phone to see where my daughter was. I have a 23-year-old daughter. She'll be 23 in July. And she wasn't home. And she was at a place, a club, a restaurant, whatever. So, okay. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, okay, she's not home yet. It's okay. She's fine. She's being responsible. It's all good. Light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. And yet I couldn't go back to sleep. And it wasn't until I heard her come home, saw her come home at about 2:30, that I was able to let go and go back to sleep. So, why was I telling you that? Because in that moment, I didn't think, other than reciting the prayer for protection, I didn't think about just being still and letting Spirit calm me down. It took me a while to be able to calm down, and I didn't even calm down as best as I could because I waited till she got home. So, that's the surface storm that meditation helps. And over time, as we meditate, we stop being pushed around by every emotional wave or situation, every external opinion. We become less reactive, more grounded. We begin responding instead of reacting. That's why it matters. Not because it makes us spiritually superior, because not for nothing, some people who are long-time meditators are still deeply annoying. It doesn't make us perfect to be meditators. But spiritual practice, meditation, does help us become more grounded. It creates an inner spaciousness. And in that spaciousness, wisdom is easier to discern. Easier. And the form of it, of meditation, matters less than the intention. I've said this before. Once we decide to put our behind on the cushion, on the chair, on the porch, or wherever, we have made that change. We have engendered a transformation. We create space just by having the intention. Even if we sit down and all we can think of are shopping lists and bills that need to be paid. So, when decisions arise, we can practice the pause that we learn in meditation. We can practice that breath and come back to center before immediately reaching for outside input. Before texting 5 people, before polling the internet like strangers should somehow be in charge of our lives and the decisions we make. So we sit with the question, we bring it into prayer, we ask for clarity, and then we pay attention to what arises, not just in our mind, but in our body too. Our body helps us. When we feel a clench or we feel uncomfortable in the body, that's a message. And when our body feels at ease, that's a message as well. And that's how we build a relationship with ourselves. We become people that know that we know. We become people that know that we act in integrity, and we do that. We know that we are expressions of the divine, and we act like it. That's what happens when we have a consistent spiritual practice, when we allow stillness to be part of who we are. So you'll begin to notice the pattern of what happens when you embrace stillness. You'll begin to notice that your deeper knowing becomes right more often than your panic was. And that becomes incredibly important when the world gets loud and louder and louder. The world has enough outrage, reaction, fear, and constant commentary. What it mostly needs is more people grounded in something deeper. People who have done enough spiritual work to respond rather than react in panic. That's what soul authority makes possible. And it belongs to each and every one of us. Each and every one of us. So here's the practice for the week. Once a day, just once, before making a decision or reaching for outside input, pause. And it doesn't matter if this decision is to have a hamburger or a tuna fish sandwich. That's just any decision. It doesn't have to be a big decision. Am I going to move back to Rhode Island, or am I going to stay in Stewart? Any decision. Just pause and take a breath. Maybe place a hand on your heart and ask yourself, what does the divine as me want me to know now? What does the divine in, through, and as me want me to know now? And then sit with that and listen. Listen. And let Spirit speak in its own timing and in its own language. That wisdom is already alive within us. The line to it has never been disconnected. We've just forgotten how to listen. And that truth is alive, absolutely alive, in every person here today. And I claim that truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. Hi, honey.
Hi.
What do you got, Mom? And it is now time for our celebration of abundance. And if you are online, you can see that slide coming up on the bottom of the screen. On Facebook, you can go to the top of our page, and is also linked up there. On YouTube, you can go to unityofstewart.org and click donate. And thank you, everyone, for your continued love offerings, your blessings, your service, your tithes, and your gifts. Thank you to our consistent givers. And I hope that you feel in your daily life the impact that you make here at Unity of Stewart by doing this work and by supporting us and allowing Spirit to move through you as abundance and love. Let's affirm our prosperity prayer and then our love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stewart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Let's sing about it.
I am so grateful for all that I am.
And this is Haysha, and she has a Qigong class today after service.
Yes, and I hope you would all like to join me. We'll just gently move our bodies in the rhythm of the universe. We'll open our hearts to all that is love. We'll remember all that is good and beautiful and be grateful for it. And I would love to share all of that with you at 12. Thank you.
Thank you, Haysha. Thank you. You're welcome. We can clap for Haysha for sure. She's doing good work.
Yes, she is.
That's always on the second Sunday of every month. And then I'd like to remind you that the Tuesday Book Circle with Marlis has a new book that they are exploring called You Are Enough. And you are, and that is so true. You are absolutely enough right where you are. And you can join them on Tuesday afternoons at 1:30. And where are you in the book, Marlis? All right, so it's still beginning there in the first chapter. So come and join Marlis at 1:30. And some men, I think, are in that group. One maybe now and again. Kevin? Yeah.
The prayer chaplains are reading that book as well.
Oh, the prayer chaplains are reading the book. All right, so everybody is enough. All right, do we have any kiddos out there, John? Let's stand as we sing the kiddos in.
1, 2, 3.
We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. In the light of God.
There are no children today,
They're all with their mother.
but we just sang to them
All with
anyway.
their
How about
moms.
that? And let us sing to them again and just bless them near and far in song.
We love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you.
And let's close with the prayer for protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Let's sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with
Happy Mother's Day.
1, 2, 3, 4.